This is Into Math 3rd grade, lesson 12.4, find start and end times. I can find the start time or the end time when I know the elapsed time. Please gather your workbook and a pencil and turn to page 339. We will start under Step It Out, Part 1. You can pause this video at any time. Rita makes a painting of a horse. She starts painting at 1:20 p.m. She spends 48 minutes painting. At what time does she finish painting? Part A asks us to count forward on the number line to add the elapsed time to the start time. Show jumps and the times. And they have already written our start time, which we know was 1:20 p.m. and they have added this here. So now they are giving us the amount of time that she spent painting, which is 48 minutes. And we are going to add that to the start time, which is 1:20. And we're going to, just like we did before, we're going to use a number line. We're going to use jumps. So the first thing I notice is that 1:20 is a pretty compatible number because it ends in a 0, which is great. So I'm going to just start by just adding 10 minutes to 1:20. So I will add 10 minutes to 1:20. Then that would equal 1:30, which would be half of the hour, which is also easier for me to visualize the clock. So I know now that I have 30 more minutes until it would be 2 o'clock. So my next jump is going to be to add 30 minutes. And when I add 30 minutes to 1:30, that will make 2 o'clock. So now I have 30 minutes painting, which makes 40 minutes. So I know that there are 8 minutes left of painting. So I can draw 8 minutes and add an 8-minute jump, add my 8-minute jump to 2 o'clock, and I know that I will arrive at 2:08 p.m. So let's take a look at Part B. How did you decide what size jump to make? We can explain our steps by writing first, I made a jump of 10 minutes to get to the half hour. Then I jumped 30 minutes to get to the hour. Then I jumped 8 minutes to show 48 minutes in all. Now we can answer Part C. At what time do the jumps end? And we showed that the ending time is 2:08 p.m. And at what time does Rita finish the painting? It would be 2:08 p.m. Now let's take a look at the next page, page 340 under Step It Out, Part 2. It takes Mason 35 minutes to make a clay animal. He finishes at 11:45 a.m. At what time did Mason start making the clay animal? We are going to now count back on the number line from the end time to subtract the elapsed time, and we will show jumps and the times. So this time they show when he finished making his project of the clay animals, which was 11:45. So we're going backwards. We're going to be using subtraction to find when he started. And we know that it took him 35 minutes. This is the elapsed time to make that clay animal. So we have the ending time, the amount of time, or the elapsed time, and we're looking for the start time. If you would like to pause the video and try this part on your own and come back, you may do so, or just follow along with me. So we are going to start with the end time here, which is 11:45 a.m. And looking at the clock, I know that here is 45 minutes, and if I go back to the half hour, which would be here, that would be subtracting 5, 10, 15, and that will allow me to have a to be on the half hour. And this really helps me to compute and use those compatible numbers on a clock. So I will start by taking away 15 minutes from the end time, and when I take 15 minutes away from 11:45, my new time will be 11:30 a.m. But I still have more minutes because I know there are 35 minutes. So I'm going to make another jump of 15 and take away 15 minutes from 11:30. And when I take 15 minutes away from 11:30, I will arrive at 11:15. And now I have 15 minutes and 15 minutes taken away, so I know I just have 5 more minutes left because 15 and 15 make 30. So I will subtract 5 minutes from 11:15, and I will arrive at 11:10 a.m. So this would be Mason's start time for making his clay animal. Let's look at part B. How did you decide what jumps to make? I can explain by stating that at first I chose jumps of 15 here and here to get to the half an hour, 11:30, and the quarter hour, which was 11:15. Then I chose to jump 5 minutes to subtract 35 minutes in all. Part C. Draw hands on the clock to show the start time. At what time did Mason start making the clay animal? We have found that the answer is 11:10 a.m. and we can draw this on the clock by putting the hour hand between the 11 and the 12 and by drawing the minute hand right to the 2, which represents 10 minutes. As always, you can go back and rewatch this video at any time and pause along the way as needed.